In the campaign, I promised the American people that I would build a cutting-edge missile defense shield to protect our homeland from the threat of foreign missile attack.
This right here, the Golden Dome for America, is game changer. It's a generational investment in the security of America and Americans.
The Golden Dome would likely use infrared space-based sensors to track missiles incoming and intercept them using advanced weapons systems.
President Trump's $175 billion Golden Dome missile defense system promises to shield America from missile threats, but there's a problem. His tariffs are putting America at risk. While the idea of protecting the U.S. from global threats sounds great, the tariffs on critical materials like steel and rare earth metals are making the project harder and more expensive to complete. With the defense contractors facing rising costs and supply chain delays, the question is, can the Golden Dome be built? Did Trump's strategy to make America great again just backfire? President Donald Trump's ambitious Golden Dome missile defense initiative aims to revolutionize U.S. security by deploying a multi-layered shield capable of intercepting missiles, even those launched from space. This futuristic project, with an estimated cost of $175 billion, seeks to protect the nation from evolving threats like hypersonic and intercontinental ballistic missiles. Imagine a future where the skies above America are protected by a nearly invisible shield, a network of satellites working together to intercept incoming missiles before they ever hit the ground. This is Trump's Golden Dome missile defense project, a bold vision aimed at reshaping the way the U.S. defends itself from missile threats. However, the path to realizing this vision is fraught with challenges, including technological hurdles, financial uncertainties, and international tensions. The Golden Dome takes inspiration from Israel's Iron Dome, which has successfully defended against short-range missile threats for years. The Iron Dome works by detecting incoming projectiles, tracking their path, and launching interceptors to destroy them mid-flight. This approach has been proven effective in defending Israel against rocket attacks from neighboring regions. Trump's Golden Dome aims to expand on this concept, but on a much grander scale, using advanced space-based technologies to defend against a wider range of missile threats. What makes the Golden Dome stand out is the technology behind it. It's a multi-layered futuristic shield designed to counter the next generation of threats. This system is meant to protect the U.S. from all of them. By combining satellites in space with ground-based interceptors, the Golden Dome aims to create an impenetrable barrier around the country. The idea is simple. Intercept missiles at every stage of their flight, especially during the boost phase when they're most vulnerable. It's a proactive approach that aims to neutralize threats before they can even get close. But there's a lot more to this project than just the technology. It's about leadership, resources, and a timeline that seems almost too ambitious for something of this magnitude. General Michael Getling, appointed to lead the project, is tasked with overseeing this monumental defense system. Known for his extensive experience with space operations, Getling has a lot riding on making this work. The project is meant to be fully operational by 2029, just a few years away. But even with all the technical expertise behind it, experts are already questioning whether that deadline is realistic. With such a complex system, the road to completion is anything but smooth. Now let's talk about the cost, because this project isn't cheap. The Golden Dome comes with a price tag of $175 billion, with $25 billion allocated to get it off the ground. That's a lot of zeros, and while the vision is big, so is the financial burden. Some are wondering if this system is worth it. Will it actually deliver the protection it promises, or will the cost outweigh the benefits? It's hard to say at this point, but what's clear is that the Golden Dome will take a lot of money, and possibly more than expected. Some defense experts are already predicting that the cost could rise, especially if the system has to be scaled up or enhanced over time. But it's not just about the U.S. Other countries are taking notice too. Canada, for example, is showing interest in getting involved with the Golden Dome project. While it's still early, there have been discussions about integrating Canadian technologies, especially when it comes to sensors and data sharing. However, President Trump put forward a proposal that raised some eyebrows. Canada could either contribute $61 billion to the project or, here's the twist, become the 51st U.S. state. Needless to say, Canadian leaders were less than thrilled with this idea, calling it a bit of a protection racket. It's clear that this isn't just an American initiative, it's already making waves on the international stage, with potential partnerships and tensions simmering in the background. So while the Golden Dome is an exciting and ambitious vision, it's also facing some serious hurdles. From leadership challenges to budget concerns, the road to making this futuristic vision a reality won't be easy. But if it works, it could redefine how the U.S. defends itself against future missile threats. The Golden Dome could represent a new era in missile defense, one that keeps America ahead of the curve. But the true test will be whether the technology can live up to its promises and whether the U.S. can afford to see it through. However, as the Golden Dome progresses, economic challenges begin to surface. With rising costs and the impact of tariff hikes, these financial hurdles are beginning to cast a shadow over the project's future, complicating its path to completion. President Trump's trade policies, particularly his decision to impose steep tariffs on imported steel and aluminum, have had a ripple effect across the defense industry. And the Golden Dome missile defense project is no exception. These tariffs, aimed at bolstering U.S. manufacturing, have had the unintended consequence of significantly raising the cost of raw materials essential for the Golden Dome's development. The very materials that are needed to build satellites and interceptors for this ambitious defense system are now much more expensive, putting the entire initiative at risk. The promise of a groundbreaking defense system comes with a hefty price tag, and the tariffs placed on crucial materials are making it even more expensive. The most immediate impact of these tariffs has been the sharp rise in cost for raw materials like steel and aluminum. These metals are critical for the production of the Golden Dome's components, including the advanced satellites and interceptors that are central to the system. It's like trying to build a skyscraper, only each brick costs more as the project progresses. The price of steel alone has risen dramatically, with tariffs on imported steel increasing from 25% to 50%, making essential materials much more expensive. Experts in the defense industry are already warning that this could have serious consequences on the project's overall budget and timeline. The increased cost of materials isn't the only challenge the Golden Dome is facing. The ripple effect from these tariffs has caused significant disruptions in the supply chain. Manufacturers already working under tight deadlines now face delays in getting the materials needed to build the system. In the case of the Golden Dome, this could mean significant delays in the production of the defense system's components, stretching out timelines and pushing back the anticipated rollout. As the project faces more logistical challenges, questions about whether the system will be ready by the ambitious 2029 deadline continue to grow. The Golden Dome's development depends on the smooth flow of resources, and these supply chain disruptions threaten to derail the timeline. These rising costs and delays have far-reaching economic implications. The government has already allocated $25 billion for the Golden Dome's initial stages, but with the increasing cost of materials and potential delays, experts predict the total cost could escalate significantly. The $175 billion projected for the project may prove to be just the beginning, with costs rising over time as the system's components become more expensive to produce. Higher production costs will undoubtedly lead to a bigger drain on taxpayer dollars, creating pressure on the defense budget. With so much of the country's financial resources tied up in this ambitious project, there may be less funding available for other defense-related initiatives, potentially weakening other critical areas of U.S. military readiness. Ironically, Trump's tariffs, which were designed to boost U.S. manufacturing and create jobs, are now inflating the very system that was supposed to safeguard the country. These tariffs were supposed to encourage American companies to produce steel and aluminum at home, but instead they're driving up the cost of the materials the Golden Dome relies on. Rather than strengthening the nation's defenses, the very policies that were intended to support U.S. industries are now creating obstacles that could delay the project's progress. The irony is hard to ignore. Tariffs designed to protect the U.S. economy may end up putting the country's security at risk. As tariffs continue to affect the defense industry, the broader implications are clear. The Golden Dome isn't the only defense project facing challenges as a result of these policies. The entire defense sector is being impacted by higher material costs and supply chain disruptions, potentially weakening the overall U.S. defense strategy. Other projects may be delayed, budgets could be stretched thin, and the country's military readiness may be compromised. This could have serious consequences for national security, especially as threats from countries like China, Russia, and North Korea continue to evolve. In the face of these challenges, the question remains: can the Golden Dome overcome the financial pressures brought on by Trump's tariffs, or will it fall victim to the very policies designed to boost American manufacturing? Trump's tariffs are shaking up more than just a single defense project. They're sending ripples through the entire U.S. defense industry. The Golden Dome missile defense system is just one example of how these trade policies are affecting critical military initiatives. As the U.S. looks to stay ahead of global threats, rising costs and supply chain disruptions are making that goal harder to reach. Building a state-of-the-art missile defense system becomes a daunting task when the cost of essential materials keeps climbing. And that's exactly what's happening now. While Trump aimed to build a missile defense system to outsmart the world, it looks like he's now tangled in a web of challenges that even Trump's grand vision didn't foresee. Steel and aluminum, the lifeblood of many military projects, have become more expensive thanks to Trump's tariffs. And for every piece of equipment, whether it's fighter jets or military vehicles, those rising costs mean bigger bills. It's like trying to build a skyscraper, but every brick costs more than it did yesterday. The government has to foot this bill, and with the defense budgets already stretched thin, there's no room for error. As these prices climb, the market is reacting, and not in a good way. Investors are on edge, worried that the tariffs will hurt defense contractors' profits in the long run. Major players in the defense sector like Raytheon Technologies and Lockheed Martin have warned that these rising costs will take a significant bite out of their bottom lines. With these companies being such a huge part of America's military-industrial complex, this isn't just a small concern. It's about the long-term health of the entire industry. But it's not just about money. The real headache comes from the disruptions to supply chains. Military manufacturers rely on a smooth flow of materials, and now because of tariffs, getting what they need has become a major challenge. Steel, aluminum, and other crucial materials are now delayed, which means that production schedules are slipping. This could push back deadlines for everything from aircraft to missile systems. If the supply chain can't catch up, the whole defense strategy could be delayed, and that's a risk America can't afford. Even more concerning than the financial hit is the potential impact on national security. Delays in production and rising costs aren't just financial setbacks, they threaten the very readiness of the U.S. military. When defense systems are delayed, the military's ability to respond to emerging threats weakens. The last thing the U.S. needs is to fall behind as global competitors continue to advance their own defense technologies. What seemed like a way to protect the U.S. economy through tariffs may now be jeopardizing its defense capabilities. These tariffs aren't just affecting the Golden Dome, they're shaking the foundations of America's defense infrastructure. As these costs rise and delays stretch the project timeline, the bigger question remains: is the U.S. still on track to stay ahead of global threats? With national security at stake, these financial and logistical hurdles could have far-reaching consequences. What was meant to secure the nation's future may now be a costly gamble, one that could take the U.S. defense strategy in unexpected directions. So is the Golden Dome an unparalleled opportunity for America's defense, or is it a massive gamble that could cost more than it's worth? Let's break it down. The Golden Dome missile defense system promises to be a game-changer for U.S. security, but its massive price tag and technological challenges are raising serious questions. At a staggering $175 billion, this ambitious project could end up being one of the most expensive defense initiatives in history. While the vision of an impenetrable shield around the U.S. is appealing, is it really worth the cost? For many experts, the answer isn't as clear-cut. Some argue that the money could be better spent elsewhere, such as enhancing existing missile defense systems like THAAD and Aegis, which are already proven to work. Instead of pouring billions into a new untested system, why not strengthen what's already in place? Others suggest that focusing on developing more cost-effective technologies like advanced drones could give the U.S. a stronger defense for a fraction of the price. But beyond the cost, the Golden Dome also faces serious technological obstacles. Intercepting missiles at the boost phase is a complicated task, and maintaining the satellites required for the system adds even more complexity. Experts have pointed out that even with advancements in technology, the laws of physics still present a major challenge. If the system can't accurately track and intercept missiles, its entire purpose is at risk. The question on everyone's mind is whether the Golden Dome is truly the best way to protect America, or if it's an overly ambitious project that could drain valuable resources without delivering on its promises. Some experts believe that a more reliable solution might lie in enhancing current systems, ensuring America's defense capabilities are strong without venturing into uncharted territory. While the Golden Dome could redefine U.S. missile defense, its potential comes with high costs, technological challenges, and strategic risks. Whether this massive investment will pay off remains to be seen, but one thing is certain: the U.S. needs to carefully weigh the risks before diving headfirst into such an ambitious project. So what do you think? Is the Golden Dome a game changer for U.S. defense, or a costly gamble? Will it be worth the investment, or should the U.S. focus on improving existing systems? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more updates on this and other major defense topics. Thanks for watching.